Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament. We have a Group J match today between Bazsle and Scarfacenico. This will be 2 matches with all the usual trappings of shuffled world order, random enemies, random Koopa Kid HP, everything you can think of. So get your predictions in for the first world. It could be anywhere from 1 to 7 on what we'll be seeing first. As we get ready to let these runners loose. So, coming into today, Scarfacenico actually played 2 matches early this morning against Jay Coper and won both of them to move him to 2-2 in the standings. If he wins 2 more, he wins both races today, he will automatically move on to the brackets at 4-2. Bazsle comes in at 0-2, looking to get on the winning column after losing his first 2 matches to the group winner, Human Mustard, who went 6-0. So we'll see how they fare today. So runners are ready to go. And here we go. And we have World 6 with 2 forts up front, and we have Navy leading off. Both runners had a little trouble getting their P-speed strats going here. Auto-scrollers are indeed turned off, with 2 exceptions. So Bazsle was the first to get to Boom Boom. Scarface not far behind, so... Alright, so that went well. So now we got a choice here. Looks like both runners are opting to take... No, they've split their choices. Bazsle went to 6-3's location. Nico went to 6-2. He got 2-5. Bazsle got 5-8. Both perfectly doable levels, and both finishing about the same time. So that was nice. So Bazsle actually gets right into the fort, which is 2 fort. Nico has to deal with a hammer bro. Picked up a P-wing for his efforts. He's going to take a look at the map, and Nico is actually going to go ahead and play the stage. Gamble not required. An interesting call. So he's in 1-6 in 6-4's location. Bazsle has no trouble navigating. Had no trouble navigating 2-4. Nico actually took out a fire chomp, but took damage in the process, unfortunately. So we'll see if that forward ends up becomes required or not. Nico is going to check this pipe, and there are 4 pipes in World 6 and all randomized, and unfortunately it feeds into the vanilla pipe location. So, okay, so we've got another pipe in 6-8's location. Nico having to deal with double fire bros, takes a hit, and we'll try again. Gets double fire bros again, but this time not in water. So, Bazsle is gonna have to deal with this at a pair of fire bros, and Scarfacenico has got a forced draw with the 2 fire bros. He's got to be careful here. He took a couple of deaths, but finally with no trouble there. Scarfacenico finds a hand stage. There are 3 of them, and whatever item he gets will be repeated if he finds the other hand stage. Oh, Bazsle had the right idea. Unfortunately, mistimed his jump, takes a death there. Bazsle is going for it. He's got Oh, that's unfortunate. Might not be a bad idea to make a trip back and get a power-up here. Okay, that's a generous spot. So that's done. Nico is in one of the 9 lost level stages. This is a 1.6 beta. It's the newest one. Bazsle finally gets around that hammer, bro. He's like, nope, don't want to deal with this. End cards are turned on here. Nico's gonna have to turn around. Ooh. So, while this is not exactly fatal, this is... That's unfortunate for him, so... That is so yeah, so Nico's gonna have to turn around. So Bazsle actually ignoring the end card. He has no use for it. We're in the World 4 airship. Nico, by forced draw, is gonna have to play this. And comes up empty. So Lemmy only needs 1 hit. The star has no bearing on his HP. Stars do not make this go faster. This random HP is a 1-hitter. So Bazsle is actually the first one out of World 6, thanks in part to not having to backtrack. Nico gets the wand at 5:58, so about 22 seconds back. So Bazsle gets caught in the vortex there in the quicksand stage. So trying to stay ahead of Boss Bass here, because of course Boss Bass is in the desert like all fish are. Nico doing a nice job with the P-Speed strats, catches up quite a bit there. So we got, forced draw on the fort. If he's got a hammer, which he does not, could have skipped 3 stages. Instead, he'll be moving on to 3-2. Nico right behind him. Bazsle's gonna take his time here. He's gonna use the star chain to make this a little easier. Having a little trouble, though, with his platforming. Dealing with all these cheaps. So Nico has taken the lead here. We got 4-3 now. A popular stage in the vanilla game for Speed. And Nico taking a damage boost is putting a show on here. He's just unfortunately takes a death there at the end. That's gonna hurt. That was so close to the end too. So Bazsle gets back in the lead here. Bazsle is going for the power-up. An interesting choice. Power-ups have been rather scarce correctly pointed out, a lot to work with, a lot of stars, but not a whole lot else. Right, so runners are mostly in sync here. Both of them should be getting their second end card soon. Bazsle goes up to 2-4's location and gets 1-1 with an Angry Sun. And Nico also playing. Oh! Bazsle unfortunately hits the wall and takes a death there. An unfortunate, unforced error on his part. Nico successfully navigates and will move on out of 1-1. So some unforced and forced errors on both of our runners' parts here early. Nico saying no thank you to the end card. He has no time for that. He's going to play 5F1 now. Well, yeah. Good point. Yeah. I'll think about that. Maybe having the Hammer Bros being forced onto you. Alright, Nico picks up a P-Wing. Bazsle. So Bazsle with a P-Wing is going to have an easy go of it here in World 6's airship. He's going to be able to fly over the mast. Nico is going to stop to get that fireball. Potentially make his work with Morton a little easier. Just a normal Morton as far as his weight is concerned. No boom shakes, but he does need 4 hits. So Nico is out at 11:07. Bazsle kind of mistimed his jump there, takes a hit to Morton, bounces back, and we'll take care of him easily. So about a 40-second swing between our runners. So 11:07 for Scar, 11:26 for Bazsle. So about a 4,600 times in World 1. So now we're in a vanilla World 3, and we have 2 levels, followed by a pipe, and I think that's 3-5 and 3-5 on a 3-5 tile, so that's kind of a vanilla Fred. Yep, it is a 3-5 and 3-5. That's a Fred, all right. So Nico using Fire Mario to kind of navigate the waters a little more easily. Nice jump there by Scarfacenico to save about a second with a 1-pixel jump there. Putting some of those vanilla skills to good use. And ooh, we got 6-6. One of the most notorious stages in Randomizer. But Nico, using some P-speed and getting a decent draw with enemies, is really able to fly through the first half of this. But now he's got bloopers, and he's got all sorts of problems on his hands. Bazsle, arming himself with a Fire Flower, and good choice on his part. So very nicely done by Nico, getting out of 6-6 very quickly. Bazsle runs into a blooper, so he's got to be a little careful here. No shame in taking this a little slower, and that star will certainly help. So we have 3F1. It's kind of a Fred. It's practically it's in its normal world, so there is that. But nicely done by Nico, and we get the fire kill on Boom Boom. So Nico is just going to play both forts right now, which makes sense since I don't believe he has a hammer yet, so he cannot break the lock, and these forts are right on top of each other. So he'll actually get a couple of free looks here at some of the pipes. Bazsle getting a fire flower, so he'll be able to take out Boom Boom with relative ease. Nico taking care of Boom Boom there. So okay, so we got 3-6, and then some free checks coming his way. Nothing visibly broke, so from what we saw, so it's looking pretty good for him. Nico, Nico got a little ahead of himself there. Unfortunately, takes a death there in 4-1. Trying to do a little too much there. Again, putting those P-Speed skills to good use. Unfortunately, does not work out. Bazsle actually goes the opposite direction and finds 3-6. Another auto-scroller turned off. A pretty quick stage as a result. Alright, so now we've got some pipe... Well, after Nico takes care of this fire bro, now we're going to get some pipe checks. And Nico picking up a Jugum Cloud, a most welcome addition. Lets him skip a stage. So Bazsle, and Nico gets it on the first try. We'll see if Bazsle will be joining him. Nope. 5F2 was the gatekeeper. Bazsle gambled and unfortunately does not pay off. So he's going to have to turn around Nico on the Vanilla World 3 airship. Could have a easy go of it with Wendy, and does. 10 fireballs later, out. So Nico has had to go through 3 pretty long worlds so far in 6, 2, and 3. Not a lot of gimmies so far. We'll see what happens next. We got a Tanuki suit. So we got 2 forts here in World 1, and Nico, still without a hammer, is going to try and play this out in 6F3 Carpet Fort. Bazsle using his P-Wing to fly over most of World 3's airship, and got a regular Wendy, and she's a tough Wendy today. It's a 5-hit Wendy, so worked out pretty well for Scarface having that fire, fire Mario. So 1740 for Bazsle. Nico again using some of his P-Speed strats to gun through 5-4 there. So 6F3 was indeed the correct choice, and Nico now just has to deal with 5-5. So 5-4 and 5-5 in succession. That's interesting. So Nico will handle, finishes off 5-5. Let's see if he goes. He does get a 5 up there. Offsets some of those Fire Bro deaths in World. Bazsle be a little more deliberate with his movement here in 6F3. Has a little trouble there. But should be able to get through this pretty comfortably. So we have another vanilla airship with World 1. See what Larry will be dealing with. He's a thick Larry. For Scars, so a 1914 first half with worlds 4, 5, and 7 still to play. Bazsle handles 5-4 nicely, so Nico had a little trouble there, Bazsle, but finally gets through. So we have 5-6 now. We're continuing an interesting chain. We've had 5-4, 5-5, and 5-6 in a row as regular stages. 5-6, it can be a little rough at the beginning, but after you get past the opening section, it kind of settles down. You still got to watch out for some nasty enemies. So we've got a 1-Fort World 5 confirmed by the 5-10 in the corner there. So we have to play 2 stages, then the tower. We'll see how many levels they'll have to play after they're done with the tower. Could really be honestly anything. Maybe it's 3 or 4 stages. We'll see what comes up. And yeah, 5-7. So the chain continues. We've already seen 5-8, so it's going to have to come to an end. Bazsle was hoping to get the off-screen wand grab. If you grab the wand with Mario mostly off stage, you actually save a couple of seconds. Well, it just wasn't low enough. Or it wasn't high enough, and unfortunately, it actually added a couple of seconds to the animation. We got into the tower with the Cheep. So 3 stages required here before they can finish. No fort, at least, but it probably is 1 fort anyways. Nico picking up a hammer. Something that we have not seen very much of. Well, we get 5-3 instead. So now we're going backwards. 5-3 is one of the longest stages in Randomizer, and can be one of the toughest because of the enemy draws you get. This doesn't look too bad. Very nice. But fire nippers are fairly common in this stage. We're finally out of the World 5 marathon, and we get 2-1 with the Cheep. Well, people rightly acknowledge boss bass as a problem. Cheeps can be even worse in some cases, so you got to watch out for those. Nico did not opt to use his cloud there, and probably a good choice. It's 2-2. starting that chain now, are we? We've seen 2-5 and Quicksand, but the other levels of World 2 remain a mystery at this stage. So, interesting run of Vanilla. Bazsle using a P-Wing here in 5-3. Excuse me. Not a bad choice, actually. Asking why it's always the towers in World 5, because it's of its unique properties relating to the pipe. I don't think we can move it. Same deal with the tower. Same deal with the Quicksand and the Pyramid stages in World 2 and the Piranhas. I think they're tied. Well, while the Quicksand and Pyramid stages can be randomized themselves, I don't think the tiles themselves can be randomized as far as getting them out of the world. So World 7 airship is done. Bazsle trying to get through 2-1 here. Actually slammed on the brakes and got boxed in, unfortunately, by the Piranhas and the Cheep Cheep. And since the chat since the message is now bringing it up, do give our runners a follow, Bazsle and scarfacenico, and you can give me Pro A007 a follow as well. We have World 7 now, a linear draw, and that hammer is paying off very nicely here, and this is a Jet World 7. Putting everything together and right on into the airship. So very nice bit of luck there by Nico, getting a Jet World World 7, and just a 2-hit blood with that. So it's about a 75-second World 7, about as fast as you could ever hope for. You blink and you miss it, and then some. So this will allow him to expand his lead. Bazsle's still not that far behind, but yeah, he will be able to use that hammer. So there is that, but you know, Nico in World 4 now and finds 7F1, aka Fort Knox. Unfortunately, does not have a tail, so he's going to have to take the medium route here and get his Tanuki suit, which is not randomized. So Bazsle having a little trouble there off the bat with Roy. Roy making this a little difficult. He's a 5-hit Roy. But finally takes care of him. Nico using a little swag there to take care of Boom Boom. So 27-26 wand grab for Bazsle. And oh boy, this could be another very quick world for Nico. See where that pipe ends up. Yep, this is another very fast world. It was a 3-fort World 4 on top of this. But Nico, after some pretty long worlds, is starting to get some of that rando luck. Bazsle does not have a cloud, but is able to skip, is able to break the lock, and we see it was 7-1. Is able to clip through the wall after about 4 or 5 tries. Nico is done. 28-30. So a very generous World 7 and 4 for our runners here. This is going to be very quick indeed. Get out your chat. Get out your commands in chat if you got them. Because a wild Tanuki has appeared. Command. So now we come to the Great Equalizer, World 8, and we have a little of everything here in the opening screen. We have a tile, a hand, a fort, and a pipe. Nico playing 3-8 right off the bat. Bazsle having a little trouble navigating around Ludwig. Finally gets rid of him at 29-28. So alright, so Nico is going to play the fort, which makes sense, just because you don't want to have to come back here. And it's 6F2, nice use of the Tanuki suit to get around about half of that stage. Bazsle used a power-up, unfortunately not the correct one, and will be forced to go for the Tanuki suit. Nico got grabbed by the hand, but it's a pretty quick stage in the 5-7 beta, so he'll just gun through this and take care of it. So not a bad thing. So now the great hunt begins. How many bridges to Bowser? Nico getting grabbed by a hand right away, and it's actually a hand stage. The first hand. Nico not interested in playing it right now. He wants to check pipes. Zero Wing predicting 2 bridges. Well, it's possible. We found 2 of the other. We found Air Force and Navy. And it is 2 bridges. One of them has already been created. So now the race is on. Nico arming himself with a Tanuki suit. And gets 8 fort. Best fort in the game. We'll see if he can one-cycle this. Unfortunately, it will not be the case. I have too many stutters there. Bazsle grabbing the wand in World 7 is about 3.5 minutes back. Not looking that great for him, but we'll see if he can piece something together. Some good fortune. Okay, so nothing breaks, so Nico's going back. Is this the pipe? Was that the fort? Yes, it was. Nico, with the hammer suit and the star, is all set to make it happen here. So 6F2 and 8 fort both required to finish, to reach Bowser. So we shall see what happens. You got a little trouble with Everyman Clip, gets it on the 3rd try. And gets the wall clip 2nd try, so he'll be able to escape the hallway of doom. Five hammers to the head, and down goes Bowser. So scarfacenico will take game 1 of this 2-game set, finishing with an official race time of, I gotta love this symmetry, 33-33. All threes for Nico here. This actually moves him to 3-2 in the standings. Yeah, it was almost the best time I believe is 26:58 by DLP. Right, so Bazsle So, yeah, Bazsle unfortunately does not have usable audio, so I'm just gonna play the fanfare music. Bazsle, on his way to Bazsle, what is he doing? I think he's. I'm surprised he's playing the other, trying to navigate his way around, but so. Bazsle is seriously lost at this point. Not sure what he's doing. You don't think he's seen the bridges? Apparently not. Alright, this should do it. This will put him on the right path. There we go. So he also has a hammer suit, so this should be pretty straightforward for him. Bazsle takes one attempt at the clip, decides it's not worth it, so he's going to go through the hallway of doom with randomized fireballs. Nice bit of navigation there by Bazsle, and that will do it for Bowser here as well. So get out the GGs for Bazsle, who's going to finish with an official race time of 38:09. All right, so GG's to both of our runners. I'll be setting up the new race shortly. So we'll be starting game two of this two-game set in a couple of minutes. The next match will be tourney flags 2, but end cards will be turned off, though that really had no bearing on how our players raced in game one, really. So shouldn't be a whole abrupt change for our runners. So stand by, and we'll be back in a few moments with game two of this two-game set. All right, we are back for game two of this two-game set between Scarfacenico and Bazsle. Nico won by a fairly comfortable margin in game one to move to 3-2 in the standings. Another win for Nico will assure him a spot in the brackets, along with Group J winner Human Mustard, who went 6-0. Excuse me. So for Bazsle, it's all or nothing here. He has to win to keep his bracket hopes alive. A win will put him at 1-3, but he'll have two more matches with Jay Coper in Group J. And if he wins both of those, he would actually force a one-game playoff with scarfacenico playing under our tourney bracket controls, which is what you've seen already, but it takes out end cards and hammers do not break locks. So that's what Bazsle is playing for here. Nico, with a 4-2 record, will again assure himself a slot in the bracket. It's somewhere near the bottom third of the totem pole. But he has played very well in his 5 matches to date. We'll look at his times in a minute, but yeah, all of his times, I believe, have been under 40 minutes, which is no mean feat at all. Yep, confirmed. Yeah, his highest time has actually been 38:10, which he did earlier today on his race against Jay Coper. So he's put up some very good times, and will be a very tough out in the brackets for an 11 or 12 seed. So our runners are ready to go. So get your predictions in, chat. What will the first world be today? In this second match, anywhere from 1 to 7. And Zero Wing, as usual, praying for the reverse world order, with 7 leading off. Mayo Rabbit hoping for some pie. Midi Guy DP predicting World 2. So Bazsle countdown almost finished, and here we go. And it is World 6 once again. World, Bazsle mistimed his jump and unfortunately goes into the pit. So we got 2 pipes up front. Nico is going to take a look at the first pipe, see if this actually moves him forward, and it does not. There's a third pipe there in 6-5's location. We got 2 10s, which means this is at least a 2-fort World 6. Number of forts are randoed. Nico is not going to get that mushroom, but he does get a star. And we have 4-1 with nippers. Ew. That's not a lot of fun. Fortunately, not of the fire breathing variety. That's 4. Oh, there they are. Nico quite correctly is backtracking and getting a Tanuki suit. Does not want to do this again. 4-1's been giving Nico some problems today. He had an unfortunate death earlier. Mistiming a P-Wing jump. Bazsle actually helping himself to a mushroom there, and oh, Bazsle, no! He was so close. He took a wrong turn and goes into the drink. So that's 2 unfortunate deaths like that for Bazsle. He's just had some bad luck with his platforming so far. Alright, so the pipes are useless other than allowing them to cut some levels off their list. Nico getting a mushroom. Nico is going to take on the last set of Hammer Bros. And gets a star. Alright, so we got a fort now. Have not seen... This is a one fort World 6. So this is all that's going to keep them from getting to the finish line, and it's in the way, so all the better. 4F2. One is one of those stages in Rando where you can get some really ugly enemy patterns. Bazsle having a little trouble with Boom Boom and gets a slide. Gets an electric slide there. So we have a hand stage, the third one, so whatever item they pick up here will be found in the other hand stages. So yeah, while we don't have world records in Rando, we could have the best time in the Rando, I suppose, for this tournament. The best time to date is a 26:58 from DLP 316. So clouds will be used. If they find other hands, they will be happy, I'm sure, to pick up those clouds. Both players taking the 610 tile and getting the 610 position tile and getting a 1-4. Auto scrollers again turned off. Neat. Oh, Bazsle got caught and unfortunately takes another death there. That's his last life. He's down to his last life, so he's got to be careful. You do not want to have to do all of this again. Apart from the fort, he'd have to repeat the entire thing, the entire world. That'd be about a 5-minute time loss. Got to be very cautious here. There's an extra life waiting for him at the end if he gets through this. Okay. Nico had a little trouble with Lemmy. He was a 3-hit Lemmy. And he's out at 516. Bazsle does not have any power-ups that could really help him right now, so you have to hope for some generosity from the 2 item boxes and get some mushroom. That's good. Let's see. Ooh, almost went over the edge again. Jumping's been a little off in this match so far. Not quite as crisp as you would hope for. It gets a star there, so that'll help him to the rest. We have World 7 now. 2 pipes up front. That's not going to take him anywhere, so this is a linear draw. See how Bazsle handles Lemmy. It's just it was a 2-hit Lemmy, excuse me. So a 6-11 for Bazsle, and Nico having to play the stage, and it's 6-7, which can be tricky early on with some of its platforming, and the end can be tricky too, but overall a pretty straightforward stage for our runners. Yeah, so far we've, as far as the tournament goes, sub 30 is where are considered extremely impressive, and those are very uncommon. We've only had, I think, 4 or 5 of them so far in this tournament, including 2 racers getting sub 30s in the same race. So Nico trying to work his way around, but cannot. Okay, so their lock is not is an irrelevant element at this point. That fort is not, though. Could very well be required, and we have 3-8. handles this. So, and we have 7F2 Piranha Fort. Actually, one of the few forts we did not see in Game 1, although World 4 had 2 forts that were completely superfluous, so... So, Bazsle, not quite successful in getting to the Eastern Island just yet. Now he is. So we'll find out if this is indeed required or if it's the other fort. And it was the other fort, so Nico is going to have to go backtrack and find the other fort. Bazsle's already been to the North Central. Oh, there's a hammer, unfortunately useless here, because hammers do not build bridges. Nico's going to take a look at the pipe in its actually vanilla location, and unfortunately just takes him to the item island. Bazsle in 7F2 now. Nico, unfortunately, is taking the wrong pipe here. That's going to take him right back to the beginning. Ooh, Bazsle, unfortunately, taking a death there to the Piranha. Nico correctly guessing that the second time this will get him on the island. And... oh! It is not 7F1. While hardly a guarantee, the Rando does seem to like pairing the World 7 and World 4 forts together. Ooh, Bazsle, unfortunately, has done it. That's game over. So that's an unfortunate setback for Bazsle. Unfortunately, he's going to have to play 6-7 again. And 3-8. Little surprised he's not going for the mushroom box. Mushroom item. Couldn't hurt at this point. Oh, Bazsle unfortunately mistimes his jump and goes right into the pit. So I imagine by now Bazsle is pretty tilted. He's just having a whale of a time with his platforming. Nico's a little lost right now, unfortunately. Trying to remember what pipe to take, unfortunately. Not having much luck, but finally finds his way and will be out of here in the World 5 airship. A fun stage to peace speed. Got a bouncy Ludwig. And he's a tough Ludwig. Unfortunately, Nico mistimed his jump there, but finishes him off a 5-hit Ludwig. So 11:51 for Scar. Almost 7 minutes, that world. So we've had World 6 and 7, and both have been quite long, and have really kind of put our runners through the ringer here. So we'll see if World 2, well, 2 forts right off the... 3 stages right off the bat. 4 straw, that's not fun. So we have 3F2, another fort we did not see in Game 1. Oh, Nico! Ooh, that hurts. That's rough. Nico's having his own set of problems. Mistiming some of his movements and really kind of putting him behind the 8 ball here. Bazsle is turning around. He knows where to go. So that's one advantage Bazsle has right now that could get him back into this a little bit. I'm sure he's also relieved to see it's not 2 for it. It's not 7F1 because he'd spent an extra 30 seconds getting that that hammer. And we have super tanks, or getting that Tanuki suit, excuse me. So Nico, I think was trying to go for some P-speed strats here. Bazsle is on his way through 2 for it. Nico taking care of Boom Boom. Hopefully, yeah, no trouble there. So now we're on to the next stage. So we'll see if Nico finds 7-6. He's gonna have to take a death here. If he has a P-wing, he can fly over. He does not. He's just gonna he's just gonna cloud this stage. Good idea. Okay, so hammer not really needed here. Still plenty of places to use it. Nico finding a beta stage, a 5-3 beta, where you go right and then you spend the second half of this stage going left underwater. Can have some nasty water enemies, like, you know, blooper chains. Nico, though, manages to get through pretty good. Bazsle dealing with Ludwig, all 5 hits of him. Bazsle grabs the wand at 15:43, so a 10-minute, nearly 10-minute world for Bazsle. That's rough. Nico is going for the hammer bros. He wants those items. Got a P-wing off the first one, and gets a music box off the second. So perhaps not the bounty he was hoping for, but nevertheless moves on to the World 1 airship. So Bazsle is behind, yes, but not as far behind as you'd think. You know, a couple of... unfortunately, Nico had some rather unfortunate miscues, particularly in this world, that kind of knocked him off course a bit. So we'll see how Bazsle responds. He gets out at 16... Nico out at 16:42. Chat, we have worlds 1, 3, 4, and 5 to play. What's it going to be? Bazsle gonna play the next Ford, and it's a super tank, so this should be a pretty quick one. And it is World 4. We have a 1-fort World 4. Leading off is the 5-7 Cloud Walkway beta stage. Nico taking 2 hits there to get out of the stage. So Bazsle actually has Big Mario, so he can do the clip. He doesn't have to take the death like Nico did. See how many tries it takes him. Having a little trouble with his jumps. can be a tricky jump. Bazsle kind of having some... having trouble with the door clip. At some point, he may just decide to just throw his hands up and be done with it. Any time gain he could have picked up off of Nico here has been evaporated. Nico he's kind of going for the clip here into the wall. There it goes for Bazsle. Morietta humorously saying, "First try." Yes, it was. Bazsle's gonna play the 5-3 beta. So Nico is done with the fort. Yeah. I don't think anything is going to get rid of Piranha Fort as the name of the stage. Sorry, guys. So we'll see what kind of hitbox Iggy has here today. He's a thick Iggy, but he's a weak Iggy. One hitter. So 2008 for Scarface. That's a 2008 first half. That's pretty long. We'll see if the second half's a little more generous. Bazsle this time just jumped there. But finishes him off, and it's a 20-31. So, pretty good World 2 there for Bazsle, apart from having some trouble in 7-6. So we have World 5, a Vanilla 5. We have 2 forts and 1 pipe. So, this could be a long World 5, depending on how this breaks. Nico is going up in 2-4. Don't usually see this. It is a safer route, generally speaking. Can have some nasty hammer bro positions early. Bazsle actually using one of his clouds there to get around that stage. He's got 2 more, so not a bad idea, although he did skip a pretty short stage in the process, but all good. Nico overshot a little bit there. We have 1. And of course this will create a bridge because by logic it has to. Bazsle in 6F1. He will going for the... Oh, he missed the jump. That's a very tight bit of platforming. Got to be careful with that one. 5-6 for Nico. Nico having getting clipped there. We'll see. I don't think Bazsle... Oh, Bazsle almost got hit again. He was not going to deal with the item this time. He's just going to take... Oh. Bazsle, I don't think seems to realize you can just drop straight down and you won't get hit, but nevertheless, he gets a star there. We'll see how that plays out. Nico actually got a 5 up. I think mildly intentional on his part. So Nico is going to take a look at the pipe and see if that fort is required or not. It is not, so he's got a straight shot to the finish. The 7-7 Piranha Speedway is the only thing that stands in his way. Nico going for the 2-cycle and is successful. Very nicely done. Europsilus pointing out that if you delay, a waffle will hit you. That is true. Ooh, Bazsle, unfortunately taking a hit there to Bullet Bill. Nico in the World 2 airship. Bazsle takes care of Iggy and is out at 23.55, and we have a thick Roy. Nico grabs the wand at 24.04, so a pretty short World 5, so that just leaves 1 and 3. Both can be quite long, especially if multiple forts are required in the routing. Couldn't he have skipped the coin chip? Probably could have. Bazsle, I think, was wondering if he could actually get away with not having using his clouds. He unfortunately cannot. Well, he could, but it'd be a wasted effort unless you were getting Atlantis or something. Nico kind of sees that and is like, no, he's thinking about it. He decides to play the 1 stage to get another pipe check, and it's a pretty good move, actually. And he gets 5-8. He was hoping to snipe the Lakitu there, was not successful. Now he's just got to get out of this alive. He's got a little bit of a problem here. Alright, he's through. Bazsle's going for the item again. Gets a star this time. Got a flower the last time. Maybe door 5 will be more fortunate. Nico finds the lock. He is not gonna worry about this at all. He is out of here. So, a very quick World 3 for Nico. As he did in Game 1, opts to use a Fire Flower here to take on... and it's just a one-hit Wendy, so... Very quick World 3 for Nico, and it should be the same for Bazsle. We'll see what World 1 offers. It's a 3-fort World 1. Nico is going to play what's in front of him and hope he's right. Gets 6F2, the Ice Fort. Bazsle not interested in dealing with Hammerberg. He probably knows he's behind. He needs to catch up. Ooh, Nico taking a death there to the Womp. I'll have to do that again. He's got a raccoon tail this time, so he'll be able to skip a large chunk of this done correctly. Oh, that was close. That could have been disastrous for Nico. Bazsle's done with Roy. 27.42, so... In terms of his time between worlds, based on their splits, he's actually keeping pace. But Nico gets a gift of a World 1, and gets the 1.5 beta to close it out. I think Nico realized, oh yeah, clouds. Gotta use clouds. Still got an extra cloud and a hammer to use. See what he decides. And he gets another hammer, so... We'll see how he decides to play this in World 8. Clouds don't get a lot of value, although they would have been in the first match because 8-2 started things off. Or the 8-2 tile started things off. Nico is not able to get his P-speed strats going perfectly, but still through. And it just has Larry to contend with, and a one-hit Larry at that. So 28-57 for scarfacenico heading into Bowser. Bazsle sees the hammer. He's like, yep, I'm out of here. Bazsle unfortunately taking a hit there. I think it was kind of trying to clip, but was unsuccessful. And in the spirit of what the thing is saying, please give our runners a follow. Answer chat's question. We're probably looking at about another 7 to 8 minutes for Nico and probably another 10 to 12 for Bazsle, but we'll see. Alright, so Nico and the great hunt of our time. Find that fort. Or find the path to Bowser. Nico getting a lot of pipe checks early. And more pipe checks. We got at least super tanks and regular. Okay, there's a lock. This is actually a good spot to use a hammer in my estimation. If that lock takes you anywhere, okay, Nico getting grabbed by the hand in the corner, and it's Atlantis. Ouch. Not required. He ain't playing it because that stage takes 1 minute. Like, ain't got time for that. He's out of here. Nico kind of getting a little twisted around here with all these pipe checks he's had to make. Alright, so there's the bridge. So that takes care of the lock. It's got it. And it's a 2-bridge World 8. So Navy is Navy. Interesting. That's a Fred. Bazsle used his cloud on the 1-5... Oh, skip 1-5 beta, and he's on his way now to taking on Larry with a P-Wing. Alright, so... Navy is done. Does that create a bridge? It does. So that's 1. Alright, so Nico's now gotta do a little bit of gambling here. We know where Air Force is, and we know where Super Tanks and A-Fort are. He's gonna go with the obvious answer, which is play what's in front of you, or what's most easily accessible, which is 5F1. Nico needed a minute to kind of make sure he got through that safely. Bazsle's joining Nico now in World 8. Alright, moment of truth. Does it break anything on screen? It does, so it's on the hand bridge. Bazsle is playing 5F1 right now. He figures that this might give him some information, and it will. Just not the kind he's looking for. scarfacenico plays 6F3. Super Tanks is 6F3, so... We'll see if Nico decides to just play both at the same time, since they're right here. Which actually is not a bad idea. Bazsle finding the pipe leading to just a hand stage. He has no interest in that. Alright. For me, I would just play both at the same time. Because it's too much backtracking if you're wrong. Nico is going to go for it. He's going to hope that he's right. Bazsle's in 6F3 right now. Bazsle could actually close the gap considerably if he decides to play 8 Fort. Okay, Nico was correct. 6F3 is the gatekeeper. Well, no hammer suit this time. He does have Fire Mario. So it'll take 35 fireballs to end the reign of Bowser. Nico, Bazsle kind of had to think about it for a minute. He's like, do I do this? And I think he's going... Interesting, he's not going, Well, Bazsle unfortunately getting grabbed, so that's a trip to Atlantis. Nico having a hard time with the clip, and actually having a hard time getting back up. I think it only took him 2 tries in the last match. Bazsle's getting all twisted around. It's not an exaggeration to say that navigation is very key to mastering World 8, or at least getting a good handle on it. Nico got the setup correct, and that is it for Bowser. So get out the GGs for Scarfacenico, who will finish with an official race time of 35:59. So that will conclude his group play and put him at 4-2. Bazsle has actually made the correct choice here. So that will help him some. Yeah. Bazsle knows he has lost, so he's going to try and go for some swag here to finish this off. But yeah, that game over for Bazsle really hurt him, unfortunately. And while it doesn't guarantee anything, he was gaining time on Nico. Nico, unfortunately, had some problems with platforming in a few stages. And Bazsle was chipping away at that lead. He was down by about 2.5 minutes going into World 8. Bazsle trying to avoid the disco waffles, unfortunately cannot do it. So Bazsle on his way to Bowser, should be done pretty shortly. And got lasered there by the statue. Lasers are randomized now, they used to not be. Same with this fireball room. Oh, Bazsle was basically home free. Unfortunately, gets hit by a fireball there, and he's out of items, so he's gonna have to do this the hard way. Oh, Bazsle unfortunately missing the jump there. You have to reset the room. Now, again, Bazsle unfortunately does not have usable audio here, so You'll have to imagine the music this time. Almost got hit again by the hot foot. Okay, Bazsle goes down the stairs, no problem. Bazsle's actually going to take the bottom route this time. Okay, well that could get him a fireball. There is an extra power-up in the bottom route. We'll see what he ends up with here. It does get his fire flowers, so looking pretty good. Now he's just got to get through this final hallway. He's taking his time. He's not in any... Oh, unfortunately, runs right into that fireball there, but will be set up for a nice, quick kill on Bowser. 5 jumps will do it. And taking full advantage of Bowser's non-existent hitbox in everywhere but his head. 2 more jumps and this will all be over. And that will do it. So get out the GGs for Bazsle, who's going to... while falling short, put up 2 very credible times, and proved he can hang with the big dogs here as he finishes with an official race time of 40:24. So we have one of our runners. We have Scarface standing by for an interview. I'll get him up here in a moment.
Hello.
Oh, and we welcome our winner of today's race, Scarface, to the chat. GG.
Thanks. Yeah, I had some. I'm happy I won both races, all the races today. So that means I think I am. I made it to the final brackets, right?
Yes, you have.
Single elimination.
By default, yes. At 4 and 2, you have advanced to the bracket. So congrats.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah, and I'm actually doing your average right now. You finished with an average of 35.20.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That is very good. That's only a minute less than Human Mustard, who went undefeated. So that'll.
Oh wow. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah.
Still kind of new to Randomizer.
Well, but you have experience with the vanilla game, so that helps.
That's true. Yeah, that definitely helps. Although sometimes it doesn't. With the randomized enemies, just run straight into them.
Yeah, there was some unforced errors there on your part, just some unfortunate mishaps with platforming and what have you. Actually, it's kind of a theme in general.
Yeah, I just made some very, very odd mistakes. I just ran into a boom boom and died and stuff like that. I don't know what happened, but I definitely did not make me happy.
Talk about bad platforming mistakes, man. I did not play well that second race. I got a game over in World 7, and I forgot I was low on lives. I knew when I got that game over in 7, I was like, well, I've probably already lost at this point, but I might as well keep going.
Yeah, you actually were catching up towards the end. You were able to close the distance a bit. You were only about 2.5 minutes back going into into World 8. So, you know, it was closer than you think. Yeah, you take away the game over, this is probably very, very close.
And then I got a little confused in World 8 on that second game too. I think I went to the same pipe as you did.
Both of you had a little trouble there with navigation in World 8. World 7 too was World 7 2 was also kind of twisting you guys around a bit.
I can never remember which pipe leads to where.
I think eventually I got the hang of where I was going. It was just, and then I found Piranha Fort, and of course Piranha Fort is Piranha Fort, and it happened, and I died twice there. And then I was like, just watch. This isn't going to be the one that builds the bridge, and go figure. I just had a sinking feeling I had to go play the other one too.
Yep,
and I had to figure out how to get over there.
Right. So, well, it's one of those things, you know. It is what it is. But I mean, you know, your Bazsle's like you're 0-4, but that's a good 0-4, if I may say so. I mean, you know, you just probably ended up in the group of death or something equivalent. You know, we usually have one.
If I had played a little cleaner that second race, I might have had a shot to take one off. I felt like I played pretty okay that first race, just barring a few, because I only died like 4 times in that first race. There's just a few unfortunate mishaps, and I want to watch that first race especially back to see what Scarface did differently.
He actually had a couple of extra items from the Hammer Bros that helped him out. He was able to skip some stuff that you unfortunately were not able to.
Oh,
yeah, I basically skipped all of World 7 in race 1.
Yeah,
wow.
that was ultimately that was one of the main differences. So all right, so well, we're kind of getting nudged to wrap this up because we got a Hollow Knight we got a Hollow Knight all skills match that we're kind of we're kind of nudging back a little bit here, but GG's guys, and congrats Scarface on making it to the brackets.
Yeah, good job, Scarface.
Yeah. GG Bazsle. Good race.
Thank you.
So we'll see where you end up in the seeding real quick before they boot us. We have 4 other races today for the Mario 3 Rando tournament at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have Disaster Cotty versus the Hacksaw on SpeedGaming 3. SpeedGaming 1 will have Frankenrock versus Ricky of Kokiri at 3 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern will be Magoo is Adorable versus Book to the Man. And 9 p.m. East, that's on SpeedGaming 2. At 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Tapatio J versus S Diesel in a Group G match. So, good luck to all of our runners, and we'll hope to see you all in those races as they come up throughout the day. So, thanks all, and stay tuned for some Hollow Knight action. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for the commentary and hosting.